I have not heard. They haven't told saying that stuff. Okay, we're not. You're not even supposed to know this stuff, right?
But I do.
Yeah, right.
I know everything.
Okay, so I'm going. This is potentially the easiest homework yet in some ways. Okay, but it's also one that like. Well, let me just explain. Okay, so we've been talking about population. We've been talking about like, you know, how species interact, predator prey, J curve, S curve, that kind of stuff. K selected, R selected stuff. Okay, now we're moving to human. Okay, and by the way, I think in hindsight, I'm going to keep the lab where we go to the. Usually, I wait and do it now. That would have been super nice today to go out. But who would have thought 60, 70 degree, 80 degree weather now? But I like the fact that we did it before because it helped with those survivorship curves. Like I think I'm going to do, usually I do it in chapter 7, but I think I'm going to from now on do it in chapter 6 because most of you did really well on that question. Okay, so there you go. So this is all about human population. And so let me explain what this is going to, this homework's going to look like. Yes. No. Okay, sorry. I'm just not moving. Here's why. Okay. I had freaked out. I had a moment where I freaked out because we had a student, a brand new student, okay, that came in, okay, and this was right when we had our first issue with the COVIDs. Didn't realize that student wasn't on my seating chart. Oh, I saw the student the next day. I was like, like threw up in my mouth. I go, why are you here? You know, they're like, I was wondering the same thing. Like literally, was here a day. Okay, so like I just want to keep everybody in their places. All right, now, okay, so here's the book questions. I just want definitions for these things. If you could do it like in your own words, like a stick copy pasting, like I mean, it doesn't have to be. Just don't like go through copy paste. You know, like just type it up, right? You know, read it, type it up. Okay, this is the easy thing. Okay, number 2, this is also super easy. If a population has a growth rate of 10%, what is the population's doubling time? What would doubling time be if that growth rate shrank to 1.2%? Okay, all right, so these would be pretty easy. Okay, this is the tough one, and this is worth 20 points. Okay, all right. Okay, okay, I know. Okay, but look, let me read this out loud and then let me explain. Okay, of what I want you to do. Okay, so here we go. So by the way, this is like, well, let me just read it and then I'll talk. Okay. In January 2017, President Trump reinstated the Mexico City policy, also known as the Global Gag Rule. The Global Gag Rule stipulates that non-governmental organizations receiving U.S. assistance cannot use separately obtained non-U.S. funds to inform the public or educate their government on the need to make safe abortion available, provide legal abortion services, or provide advice on where to get an abortion. The administration also blocked funding for the United Nations Population. Quote, it formally applied to only family planning assistance provided through the State Department and U.S. Administration for International Development, that's USAID, but Trump's new provisions expanded its application to all global health assistance. The U.S. is the world's largest provider of such aid. Some have stated the UNFPA is the principal international, just lay it right there, thanks, organization supporting programs that provide access to voluntary family planning and reproductive health services, including information and counseling on a range of safe and affordable contraceptive methods. The organization is the world's largest provider of contraceptives. It provides reproductive health services to 12.5 million women in more than 46 countries. Consider this story. At age 45, after giving birth to 13 children in her village of thatched roofs and bare feet, Beatrice Ondaga made a discovery that startled her: birth control. I delivered all these children because, 13 children, by the way, 45 years old, because I didn't know there was another way, said Ondaga, who started on a free quarterly contraceptive injection last year. Surrounded by her weary-faced brood, her 21-month-old boy clutching at her favorite dress, she added calmly, I fear we're already too many in this family. Okay, and then this. Quote, abortion rates have dropped again in Colorado, and health authorities are crediting increased access to birth control statewide. Pharmacists have written thousands of prescriptions for birth control since 2017, when Colorado became the third state in the nation to allow women to get prescriptions for oral contraceptives at the pharmacy instead of only from a doctor. State and federal dollars are funding the free and low-cost IUDs. Those are intrauterine devices that prevent pregnancy for 5 years or more for low-income women and teens who visit community health clinics across the state. Another contributing factor, the so-called morning after pill, has been available over the counter at Colorado pharmacies since 2013. The goal has always been access, said Gina Moore, Assistant Dean for Clinical Professor or Professional Affairs at the University of Colorado Skaggs School of Pharmacy. We are just really pleased. Okay, all right, so there's the background. You can read this again. Here's your questions, 2 of them. Okay, should organizations that provide abortion services and reproductive health services to countries outside of the U.S. Receive funds from the U.S. government? Explain your answer in detail. Okay, this isn't just about your opinion on whether abortion is right or wrong. I want some thought here. You can tell me that abortion is wrong, but I need much more than a simple statement for full credit. Explain your thoughts. Okay, so here's where you get 0 points. Okay, where you're like, God says abortion's wrong. End of story. Okay, you can believe that all you want. Like there was a song growing up in a church that I went to, and it went like this. We sang it out loud. God says it, I believe it. That's good enough for me. Fine. If you want that, that's great. Okay, but you can't just tell me those 2 things. I want some thought there. Okay, if that's your I'm not gonna grade you on your opinion. I will grade you on your, poorly stated opinion, right? You all with me on this? Okay. Won't judge it. You can tell me abortion's, the worst thing on the planet. That's fine. Just go into more of the aspect of this. Okay. Then part 2, in your opinion, should more states adopt policies placed by Colorado to decrease the amount of abortions? Okay. Right. So we've got 2 things. How does this apply to this class? It's a huge part of environmental science, right? Okay. We're at 9, we're at 7.8 billion people, maybe get to 9, maybe get to 12. I don't know. Okay. And by the way, this isn't a Trump thing either. Okay. Every Republican president, okay, reinstates this. Okay. I'm going to make a prediction that the Mexico City policy, this global gag rule, will be reversed. Okay. If Biden keeps his presidency, right? Okay. So that's just how it is. You're a Republican, you take away the funding. You're a Democrat, you give but as far as I know, I don't know. I need to go back and see if there ever has been, but this policy hasn't been around forever either. Okay. I want to say it started with the Bushes. I need to go back and look at that though too. Okay. So, but that's been historically how it's happened. Okay. So the idea here is that like, if you are an organization in Africa, okay, and you give away free contraceptives and family planning assistances, but also assisted abortions, 0 money. Okay. You don't get it. Okay. There are to my knowledge, there's not very many organizations that are out there that don't that don't go kind of hand in hand, right? Like the abortions are there. It's like, well, why can't we just give them just to the ones that are like, it all kind of goes together globally, right? Okay, so no funding from the United States. Okay, so read through this, think about it. Don't answer this question tonight. Okay, I mean, you could start to think about it tonight. Okay, but give it some time. Okay, and as we kind of discuss a few things. Okay, and I would like to have a discussion about this without like throwing vegetables and those kinds of things. Have a good talk. We'll have a good talk. Okay, right? Everybody cool? Mm-hmm. We could do this. We're mature, right? This isn't going to be like a weird. I don't want this to be weird. I don't want this. I just want to have a talk about it, right? These are facts. Facts. This is not an opinion question. Okay, like for me, like this is how it goes in the world, right? Okay. By the way, this Colorado stuff. I first found out about it not in 2017, but in 2019. It was a news story. I thought it was really, I thought that was interesting. I never heard of anything like that. So is there a connection there? This is, we're going to make this, since it's kind of shorter one, I'll still make this due Friday at midnight. Is that cool? Is that fair? Okay, Friday at midnight. Here we go. That seems to be kind of
This Friday?
this Friday at midnight. Is that cool? Can you handle, dude? You got some time to kill, right?
Be a lot cooler if you didn't.
I was waiting for that, man. I was waiting for that. I can make it do Sunday night at midnight. Want to make it do Sunday night at midnight?
Yeah.
Does that help a brother out? Here we go. All right. Chapter 7 questions. Hey, I'm a reasonable guy. Don't ever let anybody tell you that.
Yeah, you can make it $100.
Yeah, right. So Sunday, that's 15. Whoa. No. Hey, I found that more teachers are kind of doing stuff at midnight. I kind of like that deal. You like that deal? I know this is going to sound weird, but there are definitely some things that I'm hoping are going to remain. They'll stick around after COVID, like assignments due at midnight, or like, I think after this is all done, I'm still going to Zoom, like I like it. I like putting that stuff up there. All right, so here you go. Make a copy. Boom. There you go. All right. Go ahead and open up your Chromebooks and go to the wonderful world of Google Classroom. You guys at home, I'm passing this thing out. You're going to have to open it up on Google Classroom. It's called Population. Well, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, you guys in class are getting a paper copy. Okay, you're going to have to open this one at home and make a copy. So it says Population Statistics Worksheet. Open it up, make a copy. Okay, and then this one. Okay, go ahead and open this up. So everybody in this class will open up a letter booklet to 2020 world, and then I'm going to give you this sheet. We're going to fill out some data.
Can you put our name on here?
Yes, sure. What is that? A reference to something? You're just here? I got it. All righty. So, this, I have to admit that this is something that I've really enjoyed over the years, talking about population. And this is something that I do. So if you had me for Bio 1, we did this. And maybe you remember it, and maybe you don't because you slept some since then. Okay, but this is something I do every year. And the reason I do this every year is because things change. And so what we're going to look at is the current data sheet that was put out by an organization called the Population Reference Bureau. And when you look at this, you're going to be like, holy crap, there's a bunch of stuff going on in this data sheet. This is
Spit it out, Jim.
This is Tuesday today
Mhm.
at 10:25. So you got some time. Hold on a second. I got to call Stoffel and tell him 368 that Logan Blocker is not here, but maybe he knows how to work. So the reason why this changes is because, of course, population stuff changes over time. And so back in the day when I first found out about this, I think Dory was one of my students, Dory Mobley. Okay, bug attack back in the day, and so ironically, that year the Marshall Islands was the fastest growing population on the planet. And that was significant because you guys know probably that she's a princess, right? Her dad, who just recently passed away, was a king of the Marshall Islands. And so technically she's a princess, like literally a princess. And so now it is not the fastest growing population on the planet. If you were to guess, where do you think the fastest growing, the one that's good, like, man, there's these women have more kids than any other population. Where would you guess? India, nice guess. Not India. China, no. Yes, what's that? Some African country, you are correct. So Africa is where we're going to see that. Now, let me ask you this. Okay, we're going to look at high birth rates. We're going to look at low birth rates. We're going to look at or infant mortality rates. We're going to look at the lowest life expectancy and the highest life expectancy. Where do you think that's happening? Where do you think USA, USA, we're the highest and everything, right? Yeah. No, we're not even close. Okay, which is crazy. Okay, China, no, not China either. Okay, well, I will tell you that I should say China as a whole, as a continent, as a country, but there might be a city in China that's doing okay. Yeah, we'll look at that. Okay, good. So let's do this kind of together here. And so when you pull this up, I want to explain the population data sheet. Okay, so it kind of gives you just some overall, some cool stuff, some statistics. Okay, it kind of gives you a little bit about the population in millions, mid-2020. It goes through the rate of natural increase. Okay, so that percent. We look at things like infant mortality, total fertility rate. So that's how many kids per woman. Okay, so like on the average in the world, it's 2.3. Okay, how do you get 0.3 kid? Well, it's an average, right? Okay, but look at this next thing. I'm on page 4. Okay, so kind of follow along with me. There's a column that says less than age 15 and age 65 plus. Why in the world do you think those two ages would be important? Like, why are we like 4? Yeah.
Because the one group's about to die and the other one's about to have kids.
Yeah, you got it. You 100%. Okay, if I were a bet man right now and I wanted to bet like who's gonna have more babies this next year, okay? Kids at Manchester Junior Senior High School, fingers crossed. Or people that are residents of Peabody and Timbercrest. Okay, that's a gross thought, right? Okay. Yeah, let's go with the kids, right? Okay, because what's happened to the people of Peabody and Timbercrest, they might be still having fun. Okay, I don't want to think about that. Okay, I don't want to think about that. But there's something called menopause, right? They're no longer able to have children. Now the guys can technically, if they find the right special person, but like not with somebody 65. You're not having the kids, okay? So when you look at a population, and I know this isn't showing up on my screen very well, but in the world, notice world, it says the people that are 14 is 26%. We've got a young population, 9%. Okay, but look at like the less developed, excluding China. Okay, that's higher. Okay, and look at the least developed. That's the highest. When we're looking at a high income, it's equal. Okay, pretty equal, 16 and 18, right? We got some young kids, we got some old people, but guess who's making the money? Everybody in between, right? That's where that economy's at. All right, so let's go down to the next page here, and you can see we're starting to get into the countries. Okay, now I'm going to go to this other website real quick because I don't know why. It's such a bummer this year that they didn't do this, but I'm going to go to World of Population Clock, and I'm going to show you real quickly where China is and where India, United States, and Indonesia are. Okay, so when we look at right now, okay, we're going to write this in. Okay, so the 10 most populous countries, this is as far as July 1st, 2020. I want you to write next to China 1394. That means, yep, that's from number 1, right next to China there, go 1394. Okay, so that means there's 1,394,000,000 people, okay, in China. It's a little bit higher now. Okay, they expect by the end of the year it's going to be close to 14. Okay,
Yeah, because everyone's in quarantine.
yeah. Okay, let's look at number 2, India. It's 1326. Now, the United States, this is kind of old, so we're gonna go with the new one. There's 330 million, okay, people in the United States. In Indonesia, you could put 267 million, okay? So there used to be, like, when we first started talking about population, there was a big debate. Okay, who's gonna get to 2 billion first? Is it gonna be China? Is it gonna be India? Okay, and this is a race for the top, right? Okay, this was even when China had their one China policy that doesn't exist anymore. And everyone thought that really India was gonna get to that point. Now there is some discussion, this is crazy to think about, that maybe, just maybe, neither China nor India will get to 2 billion. Yeah.
Well, I mean, their land probably isn't big enough to hold everybody.
Okay, great thing. Is their land able to hold everybody? We'll get to that. And I think if somebody's taken pre-calc, is it pre-calc right now? Did you do something really, did you do population density? Sarber was just telling me this. You're getting to that. Okay, so you're gonna look at like the population of India. So which do you think is more dense? Okay, India or China? Okay, yeah, it's a little bit smaller, but like, look at all these people here. You'll get to that population, and Sarber will show you how to do that. Okay, which is really cool. This always freaks me out. Look at this. In one birth every 9 seconds. So baby just came out. Okay, right, and now get ready. Here it comes. Here it comes. Someone is going to die. Okay, and then here comes the head. It's crowning. Here comes the baby born. Okay, right? That's freaky. 1 every 9. Okay, so we've got like a net gain of about every 20 seconds. That's incredible, right? And look at the population. If I shrink this up here, you can see this number's moving pretty fast, right? Okay, globally, right here. Not as fast over here. Get ready. Here we go. There's the 5. Well, here we come. We're going to get the 6 here in just a second. Oh, it's getting there. Okay, here we go. Meanwhile, world's like, hey, United States. Here we come. So there's that 6. Okay, so pretty crazy. 330 million. We have around 6 million or so in Indiana. Yeah.
Did I write this right?
Did I write that? What? Let me see this.
I didn't.
Yep. All right, now the fun stuff. Okay, and this is what I honestly genuinely do love this thing. All right, let's go to the fastest growing. So to find the fastest growing, we would have to look at this data sheet. And what we're going to do is we're going to look specifically at the column. Whoa, hold on. Whoa, what's happening here? Okay, in the countries, not this first page here. Notice here's what we've got. Okay, this page where it says Africa 1 of 2. Notice here's 2 of 2. Okay, you see that? So I've got some data here, but what I want to focus on is these 2 columns. Okay, I want you to see if you can find the one with the highest number in 15, or less than 15. Okay, so which one has the highest number? Okay, I would stick with Africa. And you can use your touch screen to make this bigger or smaller, right? Found it? Niger. There you go. Okay, so everybody, let's find Niger and let's look at some of their stuff. So if you want to, it's actually on that first page right there. But I'm glad you didn't give up. Okay, so I'll increase this a little bit. So Niger, okay, is what happened here? Oh, I went too far. Okay, Niger is 51-3. Okay, let this sink in. The population of Niger is 206 million people. Okay, so that's 100 million less than us or so. So, but picture the United States. Here we are, America. Imagine if 51% of our population was junior high age or under.
I would rather
Ew.
keep myself.
Me too. Okay, like imagine that, man. 50% of your population is for junior high or younger, right? Why is that? Well, let's look at a couple other things here. Okay, if you look at this little thing on the next page, if you go to Niger, okay, first of all, okay, the males in Niger, okay, for the most part, only lived to 58, females 60, okay? So why is that number so low? It's because everyone's dying, right? Okay, that's nuts. Okay, now we go over, here's the thing that also blows my mind. Okay, I'm gonna go back to that other page, okay, and I want you to see, yeah, what we're gonna say, Emma, what's that?
There you go.
Okay, you got it,
131.
okay, all right, so we'll catch you up there. Okay, but look at this one. Okay, so go to that page 1 of 2, Niger. Okay, so we know that, oh, sorry, Niger's got 24 million. I was like, that's too big. 24, but still huge, right? Okay, so 12 million, half the population. Here's the crazy thing. I was looking at Nigeria, me dumb. Okay, so it's 51-3, but look at this. This is the total fertility rate. If you're a woman in Niger, okay, you're on average gonna have 7 kids. Okay, right? 7 kids. Okay, so in this thing on number 2, you write Niger and then write the 2 numbers 51 and 3. Okay, so 51% of the population is, sorry, I said 206. I got too excited there. It's 24 million, which is still ridiculous, right? Okay, so 12 million people, okay, are junior high age or less. I got too excited. All right. What's number 2? Do you see any other big numbers there? It's all on this page. Okay, yeah, 48 and 3, that's Mali, M-A-L-Y, not M-O-L-L-Y. Mali, okay, they are 48. They have 6.3 kids, okay, per family. They have a population of 20 million people. Their average lifespan in Mali is 59 and 63. So M-A-L-I, they're 48 and 3. Okay, so 48% of the pop, huge. All right. Does anybody see another 48? There's another 48. You might have to go to page.
I'm lost. Not false.
You can find another 48er in there. What else has 48% of the population? Angola. Now we're not talking about Angola, Indiana, right? We're talking about Middle Africa. It is 48 and 2. Okay, 48 and 2. So I have Niger number 1, Mali number 2, Angola number 3. Our numbers are 51 and 3, 48 and 3, 48 and 2.
Why would Angola be like the second instead of like Mali? Yeah. They only have 2 on the.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I was ranking it on more of the less than 15. Angola has a population of 32 million, 6.1. So once again, when you're having a lot of kids, that's what's happening. And by the way, this has changed throughout the years. Like Marshall Islands, Niger has, though, for the last 3 years been number 1 as far as the fastest growth. We can look at that rate of natural increase. It's 3.5 for Angola. Okay, let's look at the rate of natural increase for Niger. Niger rate of natural increase is 3.8. So technically Niger would be, so I got 3.8. I used to actually write those down. Mali is 3.6. So that's why that's number 2. And then Angola would be 3.5. So that percent of natural increase. And if you want to compare that again to the United States, you ever do this? I love the find. So you go to Control F, United States, just to find that fast. We're at 330 million. You have an average of 1.7 kid. We're at 18 and 16. 18, 18 and 16% the United States. That might change a little bit when we get those baby boomers up there. Right? Okay, now let's get out of Africa here and let's determine the life expectancy. Okay, so what we're going to do is, if you could, when we're looking at number 3 here, we're going to look at the life expectancy for both males and females overall, but I want to focus on the males because males are always the losers here. Okay, so when you look at life expectancy, do you notice it gives you the total? Okay, it gives you the total, and then it gives you the males and the females. I want you to focus on just the male column and see if you can find, okay, the highest life expectancy in the world. Where are you living? Okay, keep going, keep going. I'll tell you this, get out of Africa. If you're still stuck in Africa, it ain't there. It actually is surprising, a little surprising. Remember, for us, it's 76. Keep searching through his mails. China, Hong Kong. So I wonder what you get.
82.
It should be higher than that.
For a male, it's 32.
Oh, sorry, I'm an idiot. Females.
Oh.
Females, not males. God, I'm a dumb. Okay, the males are the losers. I just said that. Duh. They will be the lowest. Yeah, so 88. So China, Hong Kong. Okay, the females. Okay, I'm gonna go here. China, Hong Kong, and if you notice, there's an SAR next to that. You're like, what the heck is an SAR? So I looked it up. Okay, China, Hong Kong is called a special administration region. Okay, so basically, this is a nice way of saying, like, you just got a bunch of rich people all living in the same place. Okay, we're gonna treat them as their own little country. Okay, so they have a high birth rate, 88. And if you look, this is quite nice because all 3 are together, right? So then we got China, Macau, they're at 87, and then we got Japan at 87. I looked up what China, Macau is. That's also a special administration region, and in China, Macau, it's like Las Vegas on crack. Yeah.
Is that where SARS came from?
No, no, but that'd be crazy. SARS did come from Asia, but I can't remember, man, where that came from. I'll have to look that up. But that would be funny. That's where it came from. Just those regions. Yeah, something like and what was that statistic? It was like something like 20 times the amount of gambling and revenue happens in China, Macau compared with Las Vegas. I'm probably wrong on the number there, but like it's huge. Okay, so look at this. If you live in China, Macau, your average salary, okay, is $124,000, right? That's pretty per individual, folks. Okay, I don't know, man. Okay, Japan, there you go. They're at 87. All right. What do you think so now let's go males. Okay, now let's go males. Where do you think we should go look for the lowest?
Okay, so what are we writing?
Oh, so China, Hong Kong, this is under the highest, and then 88. China, Macau, 87. Japan, 87. Everybody with me on this? Sorry, I should have stepped in and made sure you got that. Just those 3. China, Hong Kong, 88. China, Macau, 87. Japan, 87.
San Marino in Europe also has an 87.
Okay, all right, nice find there. In the past, like, it hasn't always been China, Hong Kong. Like, for a while, like Iceland was right up there. I mean, they're still doing pretty good. I should go back and look. I think I saved some of these papers, but like there's been some good winners over the years. Like notice, let's see. I mean, 85 Channel Islands, that's pretty good. 86 France. Okay, 82 Czechia. Okay, let's go. Let's see. What else we got? Yeah, like some of these Oceania places. Here's Australia's 86. Okay, 84 New Zealand. Pretty good. Okay, so what if we haven't get a low one yet? Anybody find the lowest? Looking again in the male category, what's that? Lesotho, 51, right? Okay, there's another one that's 51. Did anybody else find the other 51er? Go back to Africa here. Might find another 51. It's right around that area. Lesotho was again had 51, but there's another 51. Yeah, Central African Republic, and by the way, that's 2 years in a row for Central African Republic. So Central African Republic is a 51. Lesotho is a 51. And I'll give you a hint. The next one's 54. There's a lot of 54s.
What is it?
Okay. Mozambique is Mozambique a 54?
Yeah.
Okay. 51, 51, 54. Nigeria, you could take your pick. By the way,
What's the other?
Central African Republic is the first one here. Let me make this bigger. There's Central African Republic is a 51. Lesotho is a 51. Fine. Well, I hate this that this is making this automatically go down when I'm like this high. Okay. Mozambique was number one for a while, and it was because of AIDS. You know how they helped with AIDS in Mozambique? How they decreased AIDS? This was crazy. What's that, dude? No, that would definitely, yeah. But no, they did a procedure which sounds horrible as an adult, but they did it to adults. Any guesses? They started circumcising males, and AIDS rates went down incredibly. Can you imagine, like, if you go to the doctor, like, so we're gonna have to circumcise. I mean, like, I'm glad I don't remember it. You know, like that was crazy, right? Okay, so everybody got this first page. We're gonna hang on to this, and we'll do the back tomorrow. Okay, so the highest infant mortality rates and lowest infant mortality rates. Take a guess. What do you think the highest infant mortality rates are? Africa, right? Okay, so we'll take a look at
What was
that.
the last